calls Han Solo a bitch.
Bring him on. I prefer a straight fight to all this sneaking around.
I don't know where you get your delusions, laser brain.
Oh, come on, bro. It's the wars.
So it's our second week with 2 active Star Wars shows, and I hope I can say this with confidence. Now we're cooking with gas. This is The Wars and More. I'm Joe. Of course, with me is my good buddy Doug. Hey, Doug, how you doing this week?
Doing pretty good, Joe. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good. I really enjoyed
Definitely.
this week.
Definitely. Yeah.
And I'm hoping this is a trend.
Yeah, I got a feeling it might be. I feel both of these shows have left us with kind of like a cliffhanger, but you know, prospects are looking good for where they might be going.
Yes.
There, I just summed it all up. Show's over. Sorry.
What's up?
I just summed it up. Show's over.
All right, bye.
Bye.
See you, everybody. I mean, as far as meat, right? Like, there's not a ton there.
Well,
but there's some,
right?
And they were fun.
Yeah, totally.
We don't need groundbreaking every week.
It's true. I agree with you. I have to.
But you shouldn't
concur.
finish an episode of a show and go, I don't know what the point was.
Right.
Like, when the only connective tissue to what you've watched before is they're doing a job for Sid.
Right.
It's like,
Yep.
Like, it doesn't even feel like they're addressing what happened right before this.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's kind of funny. I kind of mentioned to you beforehand. It's like, wow, I think my 2 favorite episodes of this season are about Crosshair and not the rest of the Bad Batch.
Right. Yeah, I have to say they're good ones.
Oh, this one, I really like this, and it did something the Clone Wars was doing a ton. It was making the clones very personable. Like, you're relating to them, you're feeling for them, like,
Right.
And that's been the build up all season. Even in the ones where they kind of gloss over it, it's still kind of been there, that underlying clone replacement.
Yes. It was a nice touch with the clones being let off with that major or whatever she was, explaining how their retirement was going to work. They're like, we're soldiers. What are we supposed to do? Kind of thing as they're walking by. Crosshair gets to see that, and that was a nice callback to earlier episodes. So, heck yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, really kind of funny to see that it's pretty much like not my problem.
Right.
What are we supposed to do? I don't care.
Yeah. Well, yeah, she said it more politely, like,
yeah, I know. Pretty
Imperial
much.
Service Bureau will answer all of your questions. Like I've said this a billion times before to retiring clones. Yep.
Yeah. And as soon as you call them, they're going to tell you to call your recruitment, like
your senator. Yeah. Whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, that it was cool. Cause I mean, it's Crosshair's just kind of sitting there observing all this going on, and you can see, even in the animation, wheels are turning, like he's just taking it all in. Like, yep.
They've really gotten good at body language in animation.
Oh, totally.
I mean, really gotten good. I guess before we get going too crazy here, should mention we are talking about season 2, episode 12 of The Bad Batch, The Outpost.
Right.
Gotta start doing that first.
Yeah, I know. It's all right. It's in there.
Yeah, we get it in there. That's all that matters. Next week, I'm going to wait till we're done.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
That way you can get there. It's like, what the hell are these guys talking about?
So, okay. moving on, like with
Mhm.
the clone stuff. If seeing those clones getting, led away towards their retirement for whatever that was going to be, Crosshair then gets approached by his commanding officer for this mission, Lieutenant Nolan, and first he tells him, "You're out of uniform. Basically, put your helmet on so I don't have to look at you," right?
Mm.
And then he sees clones on the ship, and he's like, "Ugh." He's like, "Problem? Yeah, I don't like using used equipment."
Oh man, that was so
Like,
low.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, so low. I was like, oh man, like this is the moment in the episode where I started rooting like, hey, shoot this guy.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
It's like if there was ever a time for friendly fire, it's right now.
Yeah, I don't know how friendly it would be because,
Well,
that
I
was
mean,
enough to piss you off.
they always say that, like friendly fire.
Yeah, I know.
You know, a lot of that friendly fire was not on accident, right?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, this was, again, it reinforces what we were being seeing, at this time in the Empire where you have the bureaucracy with really taking hold. It's clearly somebody getting into a position that shouldn't be in a position, and just being cruel to every underling he has,
Well, they've done a real good job of that in these episodes where they show these new Imperial officers and stuff,
Right.
showing that arrogance and that cruelty and
Yep.
like just lack of humanity.
They get in these positions and then they feel this sense of, I don't know, superiority for some reason, and it's like, really, yeah. And they also do a good job of showing them, their true lack of confidence. I don't, because when they were coming into the outpost on the ship, he kind of like holds on to his harness tighter and stuff, where Crosshair just kind of like leans back and, just chill
Right.
for the ride. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like and I know you've done this, like when you go on a fishing charter with friends that don't fish
Oh yeah.
and you see them on the boat, it's like
Exactly. Holding on to stuff and
Yep.
it's like,
you're just sitting over there like,
uh-huh.
wow, you ever been on a boat before?
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's what I can liken it to from personal experience, right? Like,
Yeah. We live in Michigan. We're surrounded by water.
yeah, lots of it, lots of water. More so lately.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
But the other thing is, you mentioned that like lack of experience mixed with the arrogance.
Right.
They're really showing what gets talked about in the novels,
Right.
which is the bureaucracy of Imperial leadership.
Right.
These are bureaucrats. They're not military leaders. They're
Yeah.
not people that came up and went through the ranks.
Exactly.
This is like appointing an ambassador, right? It's your friends. It's your donors. It's this.
Yes.
They're
Yeah.
showing that really well
In fact,
without coming out and saying it.
well, they actually kind of did, didn't they? I mean,
They did.
when he meets Mayday.
Yeah.
How many missions you been on? He's like, doesn't
Yeah,
say
thought
anything.
so.
Thought so. Yeah.
But they didn't say it
Right.
that he's a bureaucrat, right? Like
Right.
they just allude to it, but you get it. Like it comes through loud and clear
Yeah. Totally.
without outright having to explain it to you, and I like that.
Yep.
So help me out here.
Okay.
Did they say what planet this was at all?
Oh, yes, they did. Oh, I'm remiss. It's something for. Yeah, I'm forgetting. It's one of those things that I thought to myself when I saw it. I should probably write that down, and then I forgot. So.
And
sorry.
then I ask.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn it, Joe.
Yep, your fault.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's something for, though. I can tell you that much.
So it's the moon, or is it a planet, or
I think it's a planet. I don't know.
is it a space station?
It's not a space station.
Well, I said moon first, so.
Gotcha. That's no moon.
Yeah, I'm not finding it.
Yeah.
I tried to look real quick and I'm like, yeah, this ain't going well.
Right. I was doing the same thing. Sorry.
Not important, I
We
guess.
should be talking. I'm going to
No
find it.
one else
but-
cares. Neither should we.
Oh, I care. I'm going to find it.
I do too, but like we can't track it out. Like, oh, I wonder what planet.
We should move on, and I'll
Yes.
find it, and I'll let you know. Trust me.
All right. I it's like, ooh, another snow planet,
Right.
or at least it's a snowy season.
Yeah, I got a feeling it's a snow planet though, because
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't call them ice vultures if it's only part of the year.
exactly. But yeah, they seem to be leaning heavy on the like the conversation between Mayday and Crosshair. A lot of the Empire. I requested these items and never got them, and the reinforcements or Yar reinforcements. It's like
Right.
took you long enough, kind of thing.
Well, this is obviously because of the slowdowns that we saw earlier in the season with the Senate and things like that, not getting this Reformation Act passed, and
right.
because these guys are getting hung out to dry. They got this cargo. They're supposed to be guarding the cargo. Oh, it's next week. It's next week.
Yeah.
Well, the bill ain't
exactly.
passed yet, so probably next week.
Yep.
Because they're guarding stormtrooper armor.
Stormtrooper armor. Right. Which we're storing on Barton 4. There we go.
Ah!
Yes. Yeah. Imperial Depot on Barton 4. So
We'll never see this planet again.
exactly. I thought that was kind of strange too. I mean, other than they got the use the line, it's not clone armor, It's like, oh yeah,
Right.
the shiny new Empire, But it's like it was a little odd, why do we got to store all this stuff way off on this ice planet? It's just weird.
I mean, were you thinking kyber crystals the whole time?
Something more
I mean, because
important.
that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh man, it's got to be kyber crystals.
Sure.
And then it breaks open. It's like stormtrooper armor. Oh, that was anticlimactic.
Yeah. You thought maybe this was Ilum or something? I mean,
I mean, just something.
right.
Like, just thought it would be more than stormtrooper armor.
Yeah.
Like, wow, they think that low of the clones that, like, you can't even get the new armor, which is not any better. I mean, we've seen what happens.
Exactly. Again, I don't know. They have this attack on the base, the depot,
Mm-hmm.
and they get some crates of stormtrooper armor stolen, and Mayday's last two clone buddies are taken out in the attack, and Lieutenant Nolan's first response is, why aren't you going after him to get the Empire's
Property.
Yeah.
Yeah, the two crates.
Yeah. Again, just guys being a total...
Ass.
Yep. There you go. Good bird. So, like good soldiers, Crosshair and Mayday head out to go recover. Seems kind of funny. Crosshair finds this like new way of accessing the depot that Mayday never saw, but hey. And then
Well, when they said his name,
yeah.
like his name's Mayday. I'm like, wow, this ain't gonna end well for him.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Weren't very nice about his name. Like,
Right.
yeah, you're just gonna be in trouble.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So we're just gonna name you Mayday. That way you're just saying it.
Yep.
Could you imagine the comms, right? Like, yeah, who's this? It's Mayday.
That'd be funny.
What's wrong?
Are you in distress? Yeah. Exactly.
No, my name's Mayday.
It's Mayday.
What's wrong?
It is kind of funny. Definitely a who's on first situation there.
Oh man.
So, yeah, in their little confrontation there, where take out the bandits and getting ready to recover the armor, and then of course we have an avalanche.
I mean, why not?
Yep. I mean, moves the story along, right? This injures Mayday to the point where he's convinced he's not going to make it, but Crosshair puts forth all the effort to get him back to the outpost. So what do you want to do, Joe?
All right. Very rarely in Star Wars do I ever end up with a moment where like, oh, shoot that guy.
Yeah, right.
This was one of those moments, and it happened early.
Right.
I
Yes.
don't like used equipment.
Right.
Shoot that guy.
Yes.
And then we get there, Mayday dies, and it's right after Crosshair's calling for a medic.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's expendable, as are you, all this stuff. Like,
right. It'd be a waste of Empire resources or something.
Right. To save him.
To save him. Yeah.
And like, he says all that and everything. He starts walking away. I'm like, dude, shoot that guy.
Exactly.
And then he goes, Lieutenant. Turns around, shoots him.
Yes.
I'm like cheering at my TV, like, yeah.
It was pretty satisfying, I gotta say.
That was satisfying. Like, very rarely does that happen.
Yes.
But that was one of those moments like, man, that dude deserved that shit. Like, big time. Like, Mayday was a good dude.
Right.
I only knew him for like 15 minutes, but that was a good dude.
Heck yeah. Yeah. Him with his, Dengar wrapped helmet looking stuff and all that.
Oh, man, his armor looked cool, didn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it's cold. Yeah, let's just throw some cloth over these joints.
Right.
That'll handle it.
Exactly. But it, it even says it, when Crosshair steps on the mine and, I've learned to improvise.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, I mean, that just goes right along with that, it's like.
Not only that, but like, it's functional yet stylish.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, if you see that guy come up, you're going to be like, wow, we're in good hands. This dude looks like a badass.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally. Unless
it's kind of like Crosshair's armor, right?
Yeah, yeah.
They paint it black. It's like, this dude's going to mess some stuff up.
Yep, we got someone special here.
Yep. So you're kind of identifying your best. And right. I think they've done that all along with the clones, right?
Oh, absolutely.
The clones that had just something special about them.
Right.
They're standing out because they're good. And it makes sense, right? Because in the beginning, you're going to be all programming, right?
Exactly.
You got this programming. If you live long enough, you get to have some style.
Right.
So obviously the ones that got some style, it's because they've lived long enough to go, wow, this would look cooler if I did this.
Heck yeah.
Wow, it's kind of dark when you put it that way.
Yeah, but I mean, it's really true when you think
it's really true. It's really true. The clones that stand out, the reason they're so good is because they got to survive.
Yep.
But yeah, that was satisfying.
It was definitely satisfying. It was good. Oh, the final scene.
Hmm.
We have Crosshair waking up because after you shoot the guy, you pass out. It's the way it's got to work. But
I thought he was dead.
oh, for a second I did too. Honestly,
Well, I shouldn't say that. At first, I thought he just passed out. And then the way they rolled it for a second, I'm like, is he dead?
right?
And I was kind of like, wow, that's pretty good because I didn't see it coming that way.
Yeah.
And then, like, he wakes up, I'm like, duh, he's not dead.
But he is being restrained and under observation. And he appears to be possibly at what I would guess is Mount Tantus with
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah, wasn't it Mount Tantus they were looking at in Raiders of the Lost Ark? Pretty sure.
Interesting.
But anywho.
But, the cloning facility,
Yeah.
where they have all the people in the Kaminoan uniforms and stuff now. So apparently he's going to be an experiment now.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens here because Crosshair is clearly not to be trusted anymore by the Empire. So,
Right.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you can't shoot an officer and be like, okay, so it's Tantus in Star Wars. It is Tanis.
Wow. Okay.
So Tanis was an Egyptian city ruled by the pharaoh, whatever. But yeah, that's where the Ark of the Covenant was in Tanis.
Gotcha.
So it's Tanis or Tantus.
Yes. Mount Tantus, we've seen
Yeah, in
prior
Star Wars.
in Star Wars, yes.
Guaranteed that name came from Tanis.
Also comes from the EU. Also having to do with cloning facilities. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, Tantus, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That goes back to the Thrawn books, right?
Yes, the original Thrawn books. Yes.
Yes. With Joris Sabalth, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Good stuff.
So that's going to be some more meaty story, I think, because,
Yeah, because what were they doing at Tanis in the Thrawn books? Were they cloning the Emperor?
I believe they were cloning the Emperor. Yeah. Yes.
Wasn't Muppet Emperor a clone in The Rise of Skywalker?
Yes.
Huh.
I know.
Weird.
Yeah, totally weird, huh? But I'm curious. I'm just wondering if they're gonna, clearly we have this I don't know what you would call it. There's this breaking from programming that the clones are experiencing, and I wonder if they're gonna study just what has kept Crosshair loyal to the Empire for so long, and what broke him, that sort of thing.
Right.
I just, there's got to be a purpose to it, right? To keeping him under observation, because under most cases, when you do something like he did, most of the time it would just mean, okay, execute him, done, over. It's kind of how the Empire works, but yeah.
Yeah, either that or maybe his sheer effectiveness has made him so attractive.
Maybe.
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows? Maybe they're hoping that they can, develop some sort of elite super stormtrooper or something. I'm really interested to see where they go with this arc here, because it's way more meaty of a storyline. So.
Yeah, I just feel more and more like man, we're gonna get that kind of Force Unleashed kind of storyline, and
yeah,
I mean, there's just all this like cloning research talk that they're carrying on,
Oh yeah.
So I mean, Force Unleashed 2 was all cloning.
Gotcha.
Because, the first Star Killer didn't work out so great.
Right.
He went and got all sentimental and joined the Republic and all kinds of crap like that.
Right, yeah.
So might as well make another one.
Yep.
Turns out he got all sentimental and joined the Republic. And I'm like, damn it. Well, I wonder why when you make the same thing, he goes and does the same thing.
Right. That's why they're studying Crosshair. 'Cause he didn't go, didn't go rogue like the rest of his buddies. So,
Yeah, good point.
but yeah, overall good episode. I dug it.
It was really, really good. Really
Yeah.
dug it. Like I said, it was a kind of breath of fresh air. Really had me engaged the whole time.
Yep.
Mainly because I just wanted to see our lieutenant there snuff it.
Yes.
And super satisfying because he did.
Yes.
What an ass. But
Got
yeah,
what he deserved, for sure.
super great episode. Kind of happy to see Crosshair making the moves that he's making. Kind of a character I liked from the beginning of the Bad Batch.
Yeah, me too.
Then he goes all bad and stuff. It's like, oh man, I want to like the guy though.
Right, exactly.
Like you still want to like Crosshair.
Yes, but I got a feeling it's not a very bright future for him.
Oh no, he's done for.
Yeah.
He's done for it.
Yeah.
It's not. Outlook not so great,
Right.
but yeah, super happy with this episode. Which is, we've done a lot of complaining over the past couple weeks,
Yeah, we always do.
but when they give us episodes like this, it's like I feel like we were warranted.
That's
Because
true.
this is what it can do.
Yes.
And I know we're being greedy, asking for that every week, right?
Yeah, but
But I mean, when they give us stuff like this, I almost feel like we're right to be greedy
exactly.
because this is so good.
Yeah.
And not only that, but the Clone Wars is what made us greedy.
Yes, exactly. Clone Wars was awesome.
So, and this is just carrying that on. So, yeah, we have a right to be greedy,
Agreed.
and we keep coming back anyway. So, all right, The Mandalorian. Well, I will ask, what did you think? But while I do that, I'd like to say we're talking about season 3, episode 2, which is chapter 18, The Mines of Mandalore.
Right.
What you think?
Overall, pretty good episode. I liked it.
I'd say,
Yeah.
one, they're fulfilling what I really wanted to see.
Oh, what? Making the show about Din Djarin?
The Mandalorian?
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
I know. Yeah. That's pretty good. Yeah. Although I will say, that being said, there were large swaths of this episode without him in it.
There were, but the story was about him
Yeah, it is true. That is true.
and what he wanted.
Yes.
So you can use other characters, and when the other characters are being utilized to advance the plot of the character you're here to see, I dig it.
Yeah.
I feel like the first 2 seasons of this show really did I say the words good job, even though I don't mean that, in telling the stories of a bunch of other characters.
Right.
This, you're advancing the story of Din Djarin while at the same time expanding on the story of Bo-Katan. If you're going to have Bo-Katan, this is the way to do it.
Yeah.
You're advancing Din Djarin's story, and you're expanding Bo-Katan's story. Super, super dig that.
Yep. Very good.
And I thought this episode masterfully executed that. Because you never forgot that this was about your main character.
Right. Well, he's had this mission, right? ever since Book of Boba Fett, right? Well, ever since the last episode last season, we've known, took off the helmet. That's a problem now. And then Book of Boba Fett.
We knew that was a problem. We didn't know what he had to do.
Right. Now we know what he's got to do. Right. So
we found out what he's got to do in another series, which is a completely different problem.
Right.
Which I still feel is a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand you have high confidence that Star Wars fans are going to watch everything.
Right.
But not everyone's going to watch everything.
True. But I will say, with the first episode of this season, they kind of did a good job of like letting everyone know what he has to do.
Right. And I got to say, like, you do realize that the Book of Boba Fett is your lowest watched, lowest rated of all your Star Wars shows to date. Right?
Right.
And you have this story being advanced in that show. So there's a lot of people that probably got to this one and go, I don't know what the hell is going on, because they didn't watch that. And after seeing some of the numbers, I'm like, wow, there probably are a lot of people that did that.
Right.
So I think that was a bad move, but that's neither here nor there.
Right.
I just feel like you should tell the story of the character that we're showing up to see, but
well, they did a good job with that this episode.
And our season 2 wrap up, that we found out that means I hate Star Wars when I asked for that. So,
well, yeah, of course, that's a good one. That's why you do this show, right? Because you hate Star Wars. So what were your thoughts on Grogu, and just as a whole? He's getting awful talkative, isn't he? And jumping around, racing his pod around like a roller coaster, and
Well, I thought all that was cool.
Yeah.
But I gotta say this, dude, you can't speak. You're like 50 years old.
Right. It's true.
You haven't learned like a word. You can make the joke. Was that his first word? It shouldn't be. He's 50.
Right.
Like, do their vocal cords not like,
I don't know,
develop enough in 50 years?
It's hard to say.
Because, I mean, I would think just like hearing people talk after 50 years, you figure it out.
I don't know. He cracked me up all episode, though, I will say.
Oh, not without a doubt.
Seeing Pelimoto does the big force flip out into her arms is like, okay. Nice. You learned that from Luke. Nice. Just, and when Din gets captured, he goes to try and save him. I mean, and clearly this cage or whatever Din was trapped in, it was too much for Grogu. So, here we've seen.
I have a problem with that.
Well, see, we've seen him do some really cool stuff, right? Lift up a mud horn, all that kind of stuff.
That's not my problem.
Okay, what's your problem?
The Darksaber's on the ground right there.
Oh, yeah, true. True, it's a good point.
So that's all.
So, okay, on that note, I know we're kind of skipping around, but that's okay.
But that's what we do.
Yes. So, my thought was that since Bo-Katan grabbed the Darksaber and used it to defeat this eyeball in a robot suit, being whatever.
Oh, yeah,
it
the
was.
eyeball crab?
Yeah, exactly. Who clearly took the Darksaber from Din Djarin. Doesn't that mean she won it back in battle? Yet he took it back at the end of the episode. I mean,
no.
Why not?
She didn't win it from him.
From who?
From Din.
But the eyeball crab guy took it from Din.
Not in combat.
Oh, jeez. See, too technical.
I don't think it is.
Yeah, way too technical.
Rules are rules, Doug.
Yeah.
Now, I'll say this. I feel like if you save the person with the Darksaber twice, it should be yours.
It should be yours. Yeah, totally.
Or how about this? If you can actually swing it, it's yours.
Clearly, because she could do a way better job of that than Din can.
Oh, she killed it.
She killed lots of things with it. Yeah.
No, you know, talking about super satisfying moments in Star Wars, we talked about the Bad Batch and how that was super satisfying. And man, when I saw the little wrist shield,
Oh, yeah.
and the Darksaber with Bo-Katan, I'm like, this is a super satisfying moment in Star Wars.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Like, this is happening in live action. This is amazing. Way better than seeing pouty Bo-Katan from last week.
Right.
Which we got a little bit of it this episode, and no explanation of why she's not pouty anymore. But you know, and her comment, like, we can finish this for good, and goes out there, is like, oh, he's almost dying. I'm like, yeah, that kind of is going to achieve the goal you were literally walking to the landing pad for.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
But no, let's go save him.
That's the funny part.
That was all confusing, and I didn't like it. If there's anything in this episode that I didn't like, it's that.
Right.
It's that she made this transition from this just sulking in her own misery because she failed or whatever to just getting back in the fight. I didn't like that.
Yeah. It was a little
I
strange.
felt like the sulking Bo-Katan was unnecessary. I liked everything that happened in this episode.
Yeah, I was going to
The
say
sulking part was unnecessary.
I think we're past that part now, because clearly after giving Din Djarin give him the full tour, walk up to the plaque as though it's like a roadside park where you're reading about the history of the place, which I thought was kind of cool, actually. It's neat. And then
I'm surprised she had to read it since she's been there so much.
Yeah, as she said when she was a kid, to be fair. So, so yeah, when he gets sucked under the water, the living waters, something's alive in there.
Well, we know that now.
Yeah.
I mean, they did kind of spoil it. They called it the living waters.
Right. So she saves him, and as she's bringing him back up, she comes face to face with what appears to be a mythosaur. Kind of cool.
Which is apparently aquatic.
Yeah, can be, I guess. But I think that is going to restore her faith in
The Creed?
the Mandalorian Creed. Yeah. It just seems like it's going to go that way, because that's the cliffhanger ending we got right there. You know, they're out of the water, safe, but you could tell, even with the helmet on, excellent acting.
Mm-hmm.
She is rethinking everything she knew about what she's telling Din Djarin about. There's nothing special about those waters, and apparently there is.
I mean, she even says the words like, "Oh, we used it to what'd she say? Brainwash our subjects or something like that."
Oh, I don't think it was brainwash. It was
something along those lines, though.
Along the lines of, I think, you know, it was a dog and
Control.
pony show. Dog and pony show for the public kind of thing, you know.
She used the word like control or something like that.
Maybe, yeah. But I hope that is exactly what is happening with Bo-Katan. Because I got a feeling that could, I don't know, you know, this is going to sound corny to say, but, you know, help bring all the Mandalorians back together kind of thing, you know. Because...
yeah, back to their warrior ways.
Yeah, that sort of thing. But I mean, you get what I'm saying. It's you know, I said I'm going to sound corny saying it, but it's kind of true. It's like I would like to see that happen. Now, granted, there's going to be conflict along the way, and there's going to be, you know, pushback and this and that, you know. But end result, I would love to see the Mandalorians kind of regrouping, you know.
Right.
So,
oh, I even kind of like the scene. You know, she's like, "Oh, you thought your dad was the only Mandalorian left?"
Right? Yeah. It's funny how she calls Din your dad to Grogu. It's
Oh, I think that's just a thing now, right?
yeah.
It's his kid,
It's his kid. Yep.
which is fine. I loved the interactions there, like over the course of this season so far already. You know, between Din and Grogu. Like,
Oh yeah. Well, I gotta say, okay, Grogu being so much more animated now,
mhm.
pretty cool. I mean, okay, going back to the last episode, right? He's looking out through hyperspace at the Purgils and stuff, and then, you know, he gets done, climbs back up underneath Din's arm, you know, like,
Dude, I just saw some weird shit.
right, you know, but just, it's like, okay, you're seeing true, you know, I guess like you'd say a father-son moment there, you know, it's kind of cool, but.
Oh, I mean, even with the chair, right?
Yeah, even with the chair, yeah, stopping the spinning and all that.
Yep. And nonchalant, right? Like just,
Yeah.
all right, that's enough.
Yep.
You're making me dizzy, kid.
Exactly. Yeah, totally.
Even though he's just showing exactly what the rest of us would do with the Force.
Yes, that's what we would do for sure.
That's what I'd do.
So, how do you think this works out for Din now? He's clearly bathed in the living waters, right?
Oh yeah, real good.
Yep.
Real good.
He bathed so much in the living waters he almost died.
Yep.
So, I mean, is the armorer going to take Bo-Katan's word for it as proof, you think? Or is this going to cause a problem?
I don't know. I hope he has a GoPro.
Well, I was wondering about that, right? It's like, how do we make a hollow vid of this or something? You know? And
Like, I mean, because like the way I see it, he could just be like, disappear for 6 weeks, come back, like, yeah, I did it.
right. And he even mentioned last episode, you know, if I can bring you proof that I've done it, you know? So, okay, where's the proof? You know, how do you make the proof? But
You guys
Yeah.
should bring a vial of water back. I don't know.
I guess, I don't know. It's all, you know, kind of weird, but these are the questions I'm asking myself here, you know. Kind of wondering.
I guess the proof would be, did you know there's a freaking mythosaur down there?
Right, exactly. Yes.
So I guess that would prove it.
That would prove it, yeah.
So I know I'm jumping back to the beginning of the episode here.
It's all right.
Man, the surface of the planet.
Of Mandalore.
Yes.
Yes.
Dude, they glassed this thing.
They glassed it. Like straight up like Halo glassed it. Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what I thought about it. I was like, holy crap, they're on reach.
Yes. Totally. And I love the surface that they're walking on. It's too. It's like all shiny. It's like,
Mhm.
yes. All the sand and dirt and everything was so hot that, yes, it turned to glass. And I love the crystals sticking out of the ground, you know, because that's like, oh, that must be right where it got blasted, you know?
Yeah, that was the first thing that popped in my head. I was like, wow, it's Reach.
Yep.
But no, that super wild, super cool.
Yes.
I mean, even the storms and stuff, like.
Oh, yeah. The storms, I mean, everything that they did, like, even where they're standing on that ledge looking down at the Civic Center, right, of Mandalore.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you strip away all of the carnage to it, right? And remember back to the Clone Wars, you could see that being what we saw in the Clone Wars, you know, the nice, all the square architecture and stuff, you know, the square trees even that they had. And it's like they did a really good job of portraying that with it being devastated too.
What's the moon there that they said that Din was from? Concordia?
Concordia, yeah.
Did they mention that before?
That he was from Concordia?
Yeah.
No.
I didn't think so.
Because I'm pretty sure that's where Death Watch hung out.
No.
Well, no? Where'd they hang out?
I don't remember where Death Watch hung out.
It was the moon.
Concordia was where you're getting. What was that one guy? Very prominent in Rebels.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Oh man, this is killing me. They had mentioned Concordia a lot with him.
Okay. So, I guess
Fen Rao.
There you go. Yeah.
So Fen Rao, they mentioned Concordia a lot, and Concordia was the group of Mandalorians that was like guarding against anyone getting to Mandalore.
Right.
Because Sabine had to go to them first.
Right. Yes.
Was Death Watch on Concordia? Or was Death Watch where Bo-Katan was chilling?
Bo-Katan, her family was on that other planet.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, following the end of the Mandalorian Civil War, the remaining Mandalorian martial traditionalists who believed in the old warrior ways of Mandalore were exiled to the moon of Concordia.
Concordia, yep. I just picked that up.
So yeah, I thought so. So Din is from the place where the Death Watch was, which makes sense that he would be a child of the Watch.
Yes.
That the Mandalorian that got him out of that storage locker his parents put him into when the battle droids were coming.
It's like the storage locker his parents put him into.
Shoved him in a locker, you know. Yeah.
A tornado shelter at best.
Well, whatever. You know, it was something.
Wine cellar. Like,
hide
come on.
here.
Give him a little class.
Whatever. Hey, whatever it was. They opened the door, threw him in there, and shut it.
Like, here, good luck.
Just interesting, though, that, you know, because it's funny because, you know, he's just a normal person living on Concordia then. It looked like his parents.
Right.
As opposed to armored up Death Watch, you know?
So, here's what's funny about that.
Yeah.
And I should probably go back and look at this page before I say what I'm thinking. Wasn't Dooku working with Death Watch to overthrow Satine? I'm going to try and go back real quick.
I was going to say you might need to, because these are details that are foggy for me, for sure.
So, like, that means that, okay, he's a child of the Watch, but the droid presence and all that stuff on Concordia would have been with Death Watch.
Right. Huh.
Which would also make Bo-Katan's whining make less sense because, yeah, you help with this.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, it could also mean that, like,
Yes, okay. So I'm using Wikipedia here. During the Clone Wars, Pre Vizsla and the Death Watch allied with Sith Lord and Separatist leader Count Dooku in order to stage a coup against Duchess Satine.
right.
Mhm.
So this gets really strange then. So at what point do the battle droids turn against the Death Watch on Concordia?
I don't think they turned against Death Watch. That's what's weird.
Seems to me like we got some threads to pull on here.
Yeah, I'm a little confused now
Right, exactly.
because we saw the scenes with the battle droids,
Right,
did not realize that that was taking place on Concordia.
right. We're left to assume as much anyway now that we know that that's where Din's from.
So why were the battle droids attacking Concordia when the Death Watch, who
Resides on Concordia.
resides on Concordia,
Was working with the Separatists. Yeah.
and then show up killing battle droids? I don't know. I'm just going to search droid attack on Concordia. Don't see anything so far.
Well, kind of liking this. This is weird. I mean,
This is weird.
yeah. I have even more to think about now than what I was thinking about before we started. So this is good. I like this.
When was this last
That's-
update on this thing?
That's when Star Wars is really good. When it's
Dude,
making you think.
I'm on Wikipedia, right?
Yeah.
And I'm reading this. Din Djarin, who belonged to the Children of the Watch, grew up on Concordia. I'm like, when did this get updated?
Today.
It's not showing that, though.
Really interesting.
Do they have an update posts on Wikipedia?
I don't know.
It had to have been updated today.
You would think, yeah. I'm sure
I did not catch it. Like,
I mean, fans can update it, so I'm sure somebody wanted to be first. Go.
because I thought that was, oh, we got some threads to follow.
Yes, we do.
I might have to go watch some Clone Wars.
Yeah, I know. It might be some,
Dude, I love excuses to go back and watch the Clone Wars.
heck yeah. Totally.
It's like, oh, I got to go watch the Mandalore arc?
Right.
Dang.
Yes.
Just dang.
We might have to see what we can glean from this, and it will be, hopefully a little bit enlightening.
Yeah, I'm sure there's people shouting at us right now like,
They're
are you guys
probably,
stupid?
there probably is, but you know what? If, if there is, we'll go back. We'll do our homework. We did all this is just hitting us right now, so
Right.
we'll check into it. But I'd say we all have a little homework to do. Let's go back, check
Oh,
out
we
those
do.
Clone Wars episodes, and see how this all fits together.
We do. And if you are one of those that are yelling at us right now, like, really stupid, you're missing this,
Yeah.
you can send us an email. show@thewarsmore.com. That is the best way to get a hold of us. We're also on social media. You can shame us in public. At The Wars and More on Twitter, Facebook.com/The Wars and More. You can find all that and all the ways to find the show over at thewarsandmore.com. Any final thoughts this week, Doug?
No, I think we've about covered it. Yeah.
All right. We will talk next week.